Hi, and welcome back to Learn to Knit with Becky. So this episode, we are learning the purl stitch. This is, like I said in the previous video, this is the right side of your work, and this is the wrong side. So the purl stitch is used when you're mainly working on the wrong side of your work, or to add any kind of like detailing, like ribbing or anything along those lines. So it's pretty similar in the first couple of steps. You've got your work in your left hand. Your working yarn is going to be in your right hand. As such, you got to get your needle ready. Except this time, instead of knitting and working essentially in the back of your yarn, or sorry, your piece, we're going to be knitting and working on the front of the piece. And you'll see what I mean. So instead of holding your working yarn back like we were before, where you're knitting and it's, going into the back, your yarn is going to be in front. So when I was starting out, what I would do is I would like deliberately make sure my yarn was in front of my hand. Like I would go out of my way to make sure my yarn was in front, not behind it, so that I didn't make any kinds of mistakes. So make sure you're doing that, okay? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna keep that yarn in the front, your needle's going behind it, okay? So I'll try and come nice and close for this one. You're going to take that needle, you're going to put it into your first stitch, and instead of doing what you did with the knit where you went into the back, you're coming in through the front, okay? Like that. I'll show you again. Through the front. So you've got your trusty fingers here for safekeeping. Especially with the purl stitch when you're learning, I recommend holding on nice and tight so you don't lose your stitches. So I hold like this, I've got it all secure. That's the stitch we're working. Okay. Now you're going to take the yarn that's in the front of the needle, wrap it around, okay? Go through to the back like this, and boop, pop it off. So that's there. I find the first stitch is always a little risky, especially when you're starting to learn. It feels really not secure, but I promise as you go, it gets easier and it becomes more secure. So let's do that again. You're going to go in through the front. You got your trusty fingers to hold in place. Wrap it around. Hold it if you need to. Pop it off. Let's do it again. Wrap it around. Go nice and slow so you can see. And that's what it looks so far. You've got bumps. The reason why they're called purls is because there's a little bump, okay? That's how you can remember. So if you need to remember, you just, what side you're on. For example, you just look, and if there's the bump, you're on your purl side. If it is flat, you're on your knit side. So let's do that again. In a pattern, you'll also see this written as purlwise. This is called purlwise when you're going in through the front. Knitwise is when you're going in through the back, okay? So that's knitwise, purlwise, knitwise, purlwise. So we're still working on the purls here. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I split my yarn. That's okay. You can just pop it off and that's fine. That will happen, especially in the beginning. And also depending on what kind of fiber you're working with. You just keep going to your end of the row. Okay, last couple of stitches. Okay, nice and slow. Same thing for the last one. It's not anything different. You just might want to hold on a little better depending on your grip. And there you go. You just did your wrong side and you learned the purl stitch. And this is your piece so far. You got your knit side and your purl side, your right side and your wrong side. So thank you for watching. And if you want to learn more knitting techniques, make sure you're subscribed.